It's a continuation of our heritage as a place that has coupled great manufacturing might with tremendous intellectual power. And it's a reflection of an unprecedented policy commitment that puts the state firmly on the side of the future. The Third Frontier and our bipartisan jobs bill have made investments in advanced energy. Our energy reform bill created one of the nation's most aggressive renewable energy policy standards, a standard that is pushing our utilities to innovate. And just last week, I signed a bill that I had proposed earlier this year that eliminates a tax on the generation of advanced energy in order to spur additional wind, solar, and other projects. Now, there's a perception out there that green is incompatible with blue, that green-collar jobs aren't blue-collar jobs. But wind turbines aren't built by folks wearing Birkenstocks and sipping lattes. By the way, there's nothing wrong with wearing Birkenstocks and sipping lattes. Neither is there anything wrong with living in a chicken shack, but be that as it may. Just let me say to you that it takes 8,000 components to construct a typical utility-sized wind turbine. Most of those 8,000 parts aren't space-age widgets. They're steel, glass, bolts, gearboxes, things that Ohioans have been making for generations. Indeed, for 40 years, Cardinal Fastener in Cleveland has been making bolts for various commercial needs. Now they've turned their attention to wind. Supplying bolts to the wind market has led Cardinal Fastener to very strong sales growth and a planned workforce expansion of up to 40%. That's the amazing and the revolutionary power of advanced energy. That's the power of Charles Brush's legacy. Power that once brightened his house in Cleveland now brightens all of Cleveland's future. A few weeks ago, I had a chance to speak with Colonel Michael Good, who hails from Broadview Heights. He was about to leave for a space shuttle mission, a flight that would launch him into orbit and add him to the long list of Ohio's aviation pioneers. Northeast Ohio has played a leading role in NASA's success, not only by sending up astronauts, but by sending down solutions from the only NASA center north of the Mason-Dixon line. Because the NASA Glenn Research Center is almost by definition amazing and revolutionary. At their main campus and at the Plum Brook Station west of Cleveland, more than 3,000 scientists, engineers, and other employees are performing some of NASA's most important work. It was NASA Glenn technology that created the rocket that put men, Ohio's Neil Armstrong included, on the moon. R&D 100 awards are the Oscars of invention and innovation. And since the mid-1960s, NASA Glenn has won 98 times. Today, NASA Glenn, we can applaud that. Today, NASA Glenn continues to develop revolutionary systems to more effectively and efficiently propel spacecraft. But the implications of their work goes far beyond creating a better way to get to Mars. Indeed, their research on advanced energy, including wind, solar, biofuels, and fuel cells, could change the way we power cars and homes. NASA Glenn is a major reason why Northeast Ohio has such a strong aerospace cluster with more than 2,300 firms whose products and processes are instrumental to aerospace. And today, that industry is lifting off. Indeed, total aerospace production in the region increased 59% between 1993 and 2008, with aerospace now responsible for nearly a quarter of all manufacturing jobs in the region. Those jobs require specialized skills, and those jobs pay wages 1/3 higher than other industries across Northeast Ohio. Just a few weeks ago, I was pleased to announce an agreement between the state of Ohio and NASA Glenn so that we can work together cooperatively and creatively to strengthen this great institution and the aerospace industry in Cleveland and throughout Ohio. President Obama recently announced that the space agency will focus its work on missions into deep space. Even as NASA's mission evolves, I've called upon the President and the Congress to recognize that NASA Glenn is an irreplaceable treasure in Ohio. What's more, as they decide NASA's budget, they should prioritize the work of NASA Glenn because it is their expertise in propulsion that will power us to the new and next frontiers of space. I've spoken today of some of the very important industries with historic roots in Cleveland. But across the full spectrum of the economy, the state has been investing in Cleveland's future and Cleveland's jobs. Since I became governor, the state has worked on 444 development projects in Cuyahoga County, investing $622 million and helping spur more than $2.5 billion in private investment. Next year, the Ohio Department of Transportation will begin constructing the new $450 million Interbelt Bridge. This is the largest transportation investment in state history. And this one project alone will create an estimated 4,000 construction jobs. Cleveland, more than any other Ohio city, has seen downtown projects funded by our expanded Ohio Historic Preservation Tax Credit. The program has invested nearly $100 million in Cuyahoga County in historic treasures like the Higbee Building and the Capitol Theater. This initiative unites Ohio's past, present, and future. Because while we are preserving our historic buildings of yesterday, we are creating hundreds of construction jobs today and spurring new retail and housing development and hundreds more permanent jobs in the days ahead. And tomorrow, I'll be back here in Cleveland, and I'll be announcing the next round of the funded projects. Regional leaders have come together in Cleveland and this region to create and support ventures like Jumpstart, the nonprofit business builder that has helped create dozens of new area businesses, some 700 new jobs, and raise more than $227 million in venture capital and other funding. And now the state of Ohio is partnering with Jumpstart to speed the growth of high-potential minority-owned firms in Northeast Ohio. So I believe in Ohio, and I believe in Cleveland. I believe in a city that has revolutionized medicine. I believe in a city that has revolutionized energy. I believe in a city that put a man on the moon and propels flight across the skies and across the universe. I believe in the city that the Hennon Index says has the best library in America.